Hello, welcome to another week. I just decided what book I'm going to be reading this week. It is going to be a really hot day today. It is going to be 27 degrees. I went for a walk and it is already really hot and it's only like 10 a.m. when I left, but I'm back now. I was going to try and sneak into the garden to do some weeding, but I think it's too hot for that. So the aircon's on and I'm just going to have a relaxing day. I don't have work on Mondays and I really like to utilize Mondays for rest. So I just picked a book to read. It is summer now in Australia, and to commemorate that, I wanted to read something fun, and this is The Summer I Turned Pretty. I feel like you'd live under a rock if you haven't heard of this book. It is like the summer romance book. It is also a TV show now. It seems to be very immature, the TV show that is, so I've never really had any interest in watching it, but this is on my shelf from a few years ago when I got recommended it. I'm going to give it a go. I kind of feel like reading something fun and light anyways. So yeah, I also am going to see if my library has it on audiobook. But yeah, welcome to my week. It seems like people enjoy these style of videos, so I'm gonna try and keep it coming, maybe with a bi-weekly upload of more like lifestyle, week in my life videos if you'd like. I have a really good time filming them, so. So I just got home from work. It is Tuesday. I wanted to update you. I finished the summer. I turned pretty this morning, and let me preface this by saying I am not the demographic for this book. It's a YA, young adult story, and it's just not for me. It was really easy to read because the writing was simplistic. So I really was able to get through majority of it yesterday afternoon. But it was so bad. I don't know what it was, but not ideal at all. So we follow this girl named Bella. I don't actually know her real name, but she is called Belly. Annabelle, that's her name. Annabelle, sorry. Her name's Annabelle, and everyone calls her Belly. She goes to this summer house every year, and her mum's best friend's kids are there also, and she has 2 boys named Jeremiah and Conrad. And it's essentially like flashbacks of the previous years, and Belly is madly in love with Conrad, and she does everything in her power to make him jealous, to get over him, and it's just insufferable. It's really insufferable. I think she is like the worst character. Incredibly selfish, and like I completely understand because she's a child in this. It's following her from the age of like 10 to max 16 years old. So of course she's going to seem childish because she's an actual child. And I can't really fault her for that, for being a selfish child. But she was very bratty at times, very competitive with her female friends. She had no real friendship. And it was increasingly harder and harder to empathize with her, and whenever she was sad and understand the character, she just pissed me off. Maybe grow a frontal lobe and then we'll talk. I feel like I can't really rate it badly because it is a YA novel, but I find it weird because I thought it was just like I just thought it was a romance novel because so many adults read this and post about it, but that's my mistake. It's a YA, and I've read plenty of YA in the past that I've really enjoyed, but this was just not for me in the slightest. But that's okay. It was still entertaining-ish. I have no interest in picking up the 2nd or 3rd book. I also have no interest in watching the show. But I'm glad this is off my TBR. Moving on. I started Lola in the Mirror by Trent Dalton. I started that this morning on the train on the way to work. I got 63 pages in. So far, not many thoughts. I have reservations going into any book where the main character is a woman and the author is a male. I don't know if that's a me problem, but I always have reservations when it's a male author. I feel like females don't necessarily get depicted well. I'm not really feeling anything too crazy yet about this. All I've gathered so far is this is about a girl and her mum that are on the run. They had a very abusive husband / father, and the mother, to protect the daughter, Lola, stabbed him, and then they're on the run. They run off. Lola is a really creative person who loves to make art, and it has a lot of illustrations inside that Lola has drawn herself. I think that's so cool. So far it is going well. It is an Australian novel. He's a well-regarded author as well. When I looked him up, he had a really successful previous book. So yeah, so far I can't really say much. It's okay so far. I haven't really sunk my teeth into it yet, but I plan on reading some more this afternoon. I think I'm gonna make myself a little drink, maybe a little festive drink, because I am a barista and I have free will. I can make barista made drinks at home. So I think I want to make like an iced latte with like a candy cane cold foam. I'm going to attempt to make that. Just got home from work and I made myself a lychee matcha coconut cloud situation. I'm actually so excited. I've never been able to successfully make one before without it dropping. I mean, it's dropping now, but it's because I've had it for ages. I've been taking photos. So cool. But yeah. So I've been reading Lola in the Mirror. I've been reading it and it's actually gotten quite good. I kind of feel bad for making judgments at the start. I think it is quite an emotional tale. Like something happened when I was reading it on the train this morning to one of the main characters that was quite tragic and I felt the pain. And yeah, so it kind of, I did a 180 on the book so far. I'm still making my way through it. I don't feel like I haven't sunk my teeth into it yet, which is surprising considering I have read about 100 or so pages, but it's just not something that I wanted to pick up today, which is odd. Normally I really love reading on the train, especially home, but this afternoon I just couldn't be bothered. I didn't want to read on the train at all. So I just kept it in my bag. And I think that's also kind of telling. I think it's interesting, but not interesting enough to hook me just as yet. Lola is not the girl, the main character. Lola is this. So the main character, she finds this mirror and she speaks to the mirror and the person that appears in the mirror is named Lola. But this girl is actually nameless because she's on the run. Her mum refused to tell her her name. So this seems like it is kind of a story where this girl is trying to figure out where she's from, her real name, her history. She wants to be an artist and she wants to be a recognized artist, but it's hard to get recognized when you don't even know your own name. So that seems to be the direction we are going. Don't know if I'm necessarily into it. I think it's well written, but yeah, I don't know. Anyways, I'm going to drink this and have some lunch, and I'm not necessarily going to read. I don't know if I'm going to read. Probably not. That's bad, isn't it? Oh well. I've got a very exciting announcement though. I am expecting a new addition to our family on Friday night now. Friday night I am picking up a little baby kitten. I'm so excited. I have been kind of looking around for a really long time and toying with the idea of getting a second cat, but I don't want to do the wrong thing. I want this to be beneficial to Snowball, my current son, but this kind of fell into my lap. I was working at a cafe the other week and the owner came up to me. She said, "Hey, do you want a kitten?" And I was like, yeah, I do actually. So that's happening. Her cat had an accidental litter and the cat was just a little bit too young to get desexed, but got pregnant before getting desexed or something. So it was an accidental litter. And yeah, I was planning to adopt and look around at a few rescues. I've been kind of perusing the websites, but the way this kind of happened, it felt like it was meant to be, especially because it's always been my dream to get an all black cat. So yeah, okay, so that's happening this week. So I've got to actually set up her room upstairs for when she comes in and she has her own little space. So I might do that. That's the update. Welcome. This cupboard is purely dedicated to books that I have read. I only put books that I've read in here. My TBR is under my TV. It's all on my TV unit. This first section is classics and it is in order of date published. So we have Sophocles, the Theban Plays, Plato, The Last Day of Socrates, Boethius, The Consolation of Philosophy, and we have the First Philosophers. This is just about like all the pre-Socratics, and yeah, and sophists, but I don't really like the sophists. A lot of this is mismatched now. And then all the other shelves are just organized by genre. So we have in the back, it is poetry, fiction, non-fiction, fantasy, romance, YA. My YA shelf is quite large because a lot of these books are books from when I was a young girl, and it's all the stereotypical teenager reads. While we're here, I'll give a special mention to some of my favorite books and favorite editions. We have this anniversary edition, the 30th anniversary edition of The Secret History. I really enjoyed reading There by Tommy Orange and Wandering Stars by Tommy Orange. I was gutted that he didn't win the Booker Prize last year, but I digress. For Christmas last year, my partner bought me so many glorious Everyman's editions, and they are my favorite. I love the way the paper feels on my hands, and I read Crime and Punishment. It's one of my favorite Dostoevsky's. Not my favorite though. My favorite is actually The Idiot. And I don't know where my other edition went actually. I've only got this edition at the ready of The Idiot with my little annotations. This is very well loved. I also loved The First Philosophers, not because it's a good book, but it's because I was able to embark on a philosophy journey and I became enamored with philosophy. It is absolutely filled with all of my scribbles from when I was reading it. It started a journey that I didn't expect, and it made me become obsessed with philosophy. So, yes. Thank you to Oxford World Classics for publishing a book that is very accessible. The fact that I'm able to read things from the 6th century BCE is insane. Anyways, I think that's enough for now. I'm getting carried away. I love talking about my favourite books. But yes, okay. I think I may leave my bookshelf for now. My wine is taunting me, and one of my favourite YouTubers just posted an early access to a video. So I think that's us done here. Hiya. So it is Friday. It is 5:30. I ended up drinking a bottle of wine to myself last night, and I got a little bit out of control. So I didn't record, but I did watch a lot of YouTube and have a great time. So that's all that matters. I am really anxious today, actually, because getting my new addition, my little cat, I'm getting her in about half an hour, so I'm really nervous. I've just been like frantically pacing and organizing her room and cleaning the house, so I've actually managed to get a lot of reading done. I got the audiobook for Lola in the Mirror, so I've been listening to that. I am nearly done. I've got about like an hour or two left of reading. It's definitely interesting and I am enjoying it, but it's not. I still am yet to sink my teeth into it, and I fear I won't ever be able to sink my teeth into it when I'm pretty much at the end and I still am not consumed by the story as of yet, because I'm so anxious right now. I can't really say my words properly, so I will finish the book and then give you a review as soon as I do that. Ooh. But for now, I am just going to have some caffeine and anxiously sit here until it's time to go and get my new daughter. Oh my gosh. So some significant time has passed, a fair few days, and I am concluding this video with my review for Lola in the Mirror and a little update on my life. So Salem is my new cat, and she is really going through it at the moment. She was covered in fleas and had worms, and she can't get vaccinated yet. The vet says we have to do some more exams to see what's going on. She's so little, she's only 690 grams, so it's really dangerous for a kitten to be going through what she's going through. So I have been crying every single day for the past 3-4 days, so that's super fun. But I am spending every single dime that I have to make sure she is better, and she is feeling so much better already. I can tell by her personality, she's really come out of her shell. She's so vibrant, and I've been sitting with her 2-3 times a day picking out fleas with a flea comb from her coat, and the amount of fleas I've found even after a full flea treatment is insane, and they're massive. Like, yeah. Anyways, so if you've got a cat and they have had fleas in the past, you know how much hard work it is to get rid of fleas. Every single day you have to deep clean, vacuum, wash all bedding, flea treat, flea comb. Like, it is an exhausting job. But yes, Lola in the mirror, it's finished. Let's talk about it. No surprise, didn't have the best time with it. It ended up being okay, but it just didn't hit the spot for me. I just couldn't really sink my teeth into it. How many times am I going to say sink my teeth into something? But I just didn't really connect or gel with the story. It fell flat. It felt like it was really slow for the first 300 pages, I would say. A lot of the story is rooted in a young girl's sense of identity, her experience with homelessness. I can tell that Trent Dalton, his aim of this story was to talk about homelessness in Australia, Brisbane specifically. It just took a really long time to get there, and by the time I got there, I was just over it. The last 100 pages flew past, and it did become quite fluid, I would say, and it really picked up, but I strongly considered DNFing multiple times throughout. The voice of the young girl just felt overly sentimental, and it didn't feel like it was coming from her. It felt like it was coming from Trent. The connection between his writing and the character just didn't fully form for me. I could hear Trent's voice more than the main narration. It wasn't for me. That's okay. It happens. I actually also read this little tiny story. This is by Sylvia Plath, Mary Ventura and the Ninth Kingdom. I read this the other morning in a sitting because it's literally tiny. So Sylvia Plath wrote this story, and it actually was rejected from her university, and it was rejected from the magazine publication she tried to get it published in, and she had to heavily change the story and the names of the characters to get it published. And this is the copy of the original story with all the original names, the original intended ending, and it was really fun to read. I definitely took it as a metaphor for death and reaching that point of death. It definitely gets your brain working. I love books that are vague like this and then kind of make you want to reread them straight away to see what you've missed, like little hints. So I'm glad I read something that I enjoyed in this video, so I had to mention that. Read it, loved it, super interesting. I do recommend giving this a little go. And yeah, that is all I have to say for this video. So yeah, everything didn't really go as planned as I wanted it to, but that's just life, isn't it? So everything's going to be okay. And yeah, thanks for watching.